I'm Jason Epperson. This is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in National Park news. First up, National Park Service rangers have confirmed the collapse of a frequently visited arch in Rock Creek Bay in Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, Utah. The double arch geological feature has also been referred to as the toilet bowl, the crescent pool, and hole in the roof. No injuries were reported resulting from the collapse, which occurred on August 8th. Double arch was formed from 190 million year old Navajo sandstone originating in the late Triassic to early Jurassic periods. Since formation, this fine-grained sand feature has been subject to erosion from weather, wind, and rain. Changing water levels and erosion from wave action is suspected of contributing to the ultimate collapse of the arch. Glen Canyon National Recreation Area Superintendent Michelle Kearns stated, quote, "This event serves as a reminder of our responsibility and need to protect the mineral resources surrounding Lake Powell. These features have a lifespan that can be influenced or damaged by man-made interventions. While we don't know what caused the collapse, we will continue to maintain our resource protection efforts on Lake Powell for future generations to enjoy. Please enjoy our resources, but leave no trace." America has a new national monument. President Biden has established the Springfield 1908 Race Riot National Monument as America's newest national park site. The new monument will preserve places and historic objects associated with a violent, racially motivated riot in President Abraham Lincoln's hometown of Springfield, Illinois, that ultimately served as a catalyst for important steps in the civil rights movement. Between August 14th and 16th, 1908, a white mob attacked the black community in the town of Springfield. Rioters lynched 2 black men, looted businesses, and burned down homes. In the wake of the devastation, a group of civic leaders came together to launch the NAACP. Quote, "Establishing the Springfield 1908 Race Riot National Monument is an important step in recognizing and remembering this painful but important moment in America's history," said Secretary of the Interior Deb Haaland. The Springfield 1908 Race Riot was a historic and significant part of our nation's march toward equality and civil rights. As we work to tell America's story, even when difficult, may this monument help us learn from the past in order to build a more just and equitable future. The National Monument is located where the violent assault began in the Badlands neighborhood and includes the foundations of 5 houses destroyed in the riot. Over the coming years, the National Park Service will work with the local community and partners to plan for interpretation, commemoration, historic preservation, and visitor experiences. The monument site includes an area that is currently part of an active railroad construction zone and not accessible to the public at this time. The site becomes part of the larger national park system, now consisting of 431 national park sites. More in a moment, but first, this episode is sponsored by RV Share. With over 4 million nights booked and thousands of 5-star reviews from happy campers, RV Share is the largest RV rental website in the U.S. A wide-ranging inventory from affordable pop-up campers to luxury motorhomes means RV Share has a rental that's perfect for you. Choose from thousands of options, including pet-friendly RVs and RVs that can be delivered right to your campsite. Each booking on RV Share also includes 24/7 roadside assistance for the ultimate peace of mind on the open road. Get ready to use your outside voice. From camping at a local state park to checking a national park stay off your bucket list, the adventure begins as soon as you step inside your RV rental. Find helpful tips for first-time renters, travel inspiration on the best RV-friendly places to visit, and discover a budget-friendly way to have an epic adventure at RVshare.com. And when you're ready to book, use promo code PARKS30, all one word, PARKS30, for $30 off a $500 or more booking. Recreation.gov, the website used for campground bookings in national parks and other federal recreation reservations, is piloting a program that will alert you when parked timed entry reservations and tours open up. One of the biggest developments in national parks in the last few years has been the advent of these timed entries that in a select few parks like Rocky Mountain and Arches requires you to book an entry time in advance in order to reduce crowding. The problem is if you don't get a reservation on the day they were released and they sell out, you have to keep checking to see if one opens up. Well, now the site is working on sending you an email alert when a reservation opens up, similar to the feature they already have that sends you an alert when a campsite opens up. The test program has not rolled out to some of the biggest parks with entry reservations, but it currently includes Cadillac Summit Road vehicle reservations at Acadia National Park, vehicle reservations for Silver Glen Springs and Alexander Springs recreation areas in Florida, and tours at Carlsbad Caverns National Park and Mesa Verde National Park. Alerts are currently only available via email for tickets and vehicle reservations, and you must have a Recreation.gov account and be logged in to set alerts. A few minutes before 4 p.m. on Monday, August 12th, lightning struck two visitors while they were standing near the rim at the popular Horseshoe Bend Overlook in Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. Two female visitors aged 22 and 23 years old, one from the Netherlands and one from Australia, sustained injuries. Both victims were flown to St. George Regional Hospital in Utah. A statement from the park said visitors are advised to use caution while visiting exposed outdoor areas and be aware of the changing weather conditions. Thunderstorms are most frequent and severe during the monsoon season, which is typically mid-June through September in Arizona and July through September in Utah. If you hear thunder, you're at risk of getting struck by lightning and should immediately seek shelter in a vehicle or building. Lightning generally strikes taller things, and when you're standing on top of an overlook, you're the tallest thing. Lightning can always be dangerous, but these large open spaces are particularly dangerous. On Thursday, August 1st, at approximately 7:30 in the morning, the Grand Canyon Regional Communications Center received a report of a visitor who attempted a base jump from Yavapai Point on the south rim of Grand Canyon National Park. Base jumping is like skydiving from a plane, except it's done from structures and cliffs. Park rangers responded and located the body of a deceased male approximately 500 feet below the rim, along with a deployed parachute. Recovery teams were able to recover the body the next day. Base jumping is prohibited in all areas of the Grand Canyon National Park, and I believe in all national parks without a permit. 3 visitors were cited for firing paintballs at signs, bathrooms, and dumpsters throughout Joshua Tree National Park on August 4th. Law enforcement rangers issued each individual who were visiting from Germany a federal violation notice for vandalizing, defacing, and destroying property. The violation incurs a maximum penalty of a $5,000 fine and or not more than 6 months in prison. Paintball markers and slingshots are legally considered weapons and are prohibited in National Park Service administered lands. Quote, defacing and altering the NPS landscape, no matter how small, is against the law, said Joshua Tree National Park Acting Chief Ranger Jeff Filosa. It diminishes the natural environment that millions of people travel the world to enjoy. The park is regularly tasked with removing graffiti of all types, using time and resources that could be better dedicated to other priorities. On that day, a park ranger patrolling the Jumbo Rocks campground noticed the fresh yellow paintball splatter on structures and signs. Law enforcement rangers were called to the campground to investigate further and found a slingshot in plain view inside a vehicle. After being questioned, the visitors admitted to firing paintballs with a compressed air paintball gun, also known as a marker, and slingshots the night before. Rangers searched their vehicle and discovered 3 slingshots, a paintball marker, paintballs, and other related equipment as evidence. At least 11 roadway signs along Park Boulevard from Jumbo Rocks campground to the Maze Trailhead, 2 miles from the west entrance of the park, had been shot with yellow paintballs. Redwood National and State Park rangers and California Department of Fish and Wildlife wardens are asking for the public's help in investigating elk poaching. Officials were notified on July 21st of 4 elk shot near the Williams Ridge area along Bald Hills Road. An investigation determined that the 4 elk had been killed and no meat had been taken. The area where the elk were killed was located within Redwood National Park, where hunting is prohibited, and they also determined that lead shot was used to shoot the elk. Lead poisoning from ingestion of lead ammunition is the single largest threat to free-flying California condors, and lead shot is banned in the state of California. Condors were just reintroduced to the area 2 years ago. Anyone with information about this incident is urged to call 707-465-7751. Lassen Volcanic National Park partially reopened on Saturday following the lifting of some park fire evacuation orders and warnings. The outlying areas of the park, such as Butte Lake, Juniper Lake, and Warner Valley, will remain closed until normal park operations resume. The standard $30 entrance fee will still be in effect. Visitors should be prepared for limited services, though, as park employees work to resume operations. Manzanita Lake Campground will reopen to reservations beginning Monday, August 26th. Summit Lake Campground remains closed. The entire park remains closed to backcountry camping as long as any park closures are in place. The park fire has burned more than 425,000 acres in 4 counties and is the 4th largest fire in California's history. Park staff were evacuated and now are in the process of returning. While the fire itself has not entered the park boundaries, the threat of fire remains on the park's south side and in the local communities of Mineral and Mill Creek. The fire danger has dropped to safe levels in the areas of the park that are reopening, but visitors should expect that smoke may linger in the area and affect air quality and views. That's it for this month's National Park News Roundup. This is a part of our National Parks podcast. If you haven't checked it out, it's available on any podcast app, and we tell stories from national parks around the country. Thanks so much for being here. Hit the like button if you got something out of this video. Subscribe if you want more. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.